Okay, great. So we're recording now. So as we start, can we please get agreement from everyone that we can share this video publicly with a thumbs up or a verbal agreement?
I said yes from Alexis.
Yes from Isa.
Yes, from Tatiana.
Okay, great. And we saw Renasia there for a moment, right, Renasia? Okay, great. So awesome. So thank you guys. The first thing is just like, I'm very present this week to like all that's been happening and all that's been happening like from you guys. Like you've noticed that I haven't been in the chats too much this week because I've really been just enjoying watching you guys lead, yourselves and lead the teams and have the leaders lead, and just really, I feel like we're getting to a much more, the way it feels to me, you guys tell me, much more mature place as an organization where we can just, have the idea and we know how to implement and put it all together. And you guys feeling that more and more? It seems like that's happening more and more. Yeah. I really honor and appreciate that. And also want to say that, I think also the new leaders that we have, Katie and Mariana and Maria, have really brought, a whole level because they are the ones leading the combined team now. Really excited about what's been happening with the combined team, as well as, what's continued to be happening with the recruitment team and the business team, and very excited to have you guys share. We'll start by, and I know it said it last time and we didn't really get to do it. I don't want to lose our acknowledgements. Hey, Johnny, and hey, Sabah, how are you guys? Great to have you here. I don't want to lose our acknowledgement. I felt like, as I shared with you, that we could actually work them in more efficiently and effectively than all at once at the beginning. So I think, let's make a conscious effort to remember. I'll do my best as we're going through the whole meeting to acknowledge people and thank them for the work that they've done, especially when we get to the team reports. We can do that, of course, and we can all acknowledge and thank everybody, because I know a lot's been happening and a lot's been happening behind the scenes. So, I really honor and appreciate you guys for all the unseen effort that then gets seen in the results, and super excited to see the results and see everything that you guys are going to share tonight. So without further ado, let's dive right into the team reports, and let's start with recruitment. Cassidy, thank you so much, Cassidy.
Yeah, thanks, Jared. So not to forget my acknowledgements, I just want to acknowledge the whole recruitment team this week. I want Tatiana, Isa have been awesome. We sadly lost Mariana because she's doing a lot of other great things, so we will miss her, but totally understand. So just wanted to give a big shout out to everybody and all of their hard work. So on the recruitment team, we've been sending out emails sort of on a rolling basis now to different career centers. We've had a little bit of response. I think Tatiana is the only one who's gotten responses so far, but that's something. So, we're excited about that. We've also been working to finalize job postings and get those put up on Handshake. So everyone's been doing a great job, tracking their time and, keeping up with, the deadlines that we set in our meeting on Monday. So that's been really awesome. So we should be hopefully getting those up soon. And then hopefully getting a bunch more students. And then just one of the last things we did at the recruitment team meeting on Monday was setting goals for the amount of students that we're going to recruit over, from now to Thanksgiving till the end of December, and then sort of that intermittent January before the semester starts. So we're really excited about everything we've been doing, and we're just, really working hard to start recruiting so that we can get a lot of students sort of with this transition period and overlap. So lots of exciting things happening on the recruitment team.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Cassidy and the recruitment team, Tatiana, Isa, Mariana. Thank you guys. Really great to see all of the action. Further down the line after the team reports, I'll have some new things to share that we'll talk about, and it'll come into the recruitment realm. But I think that, we're setting ourselves up, like we talked about, for the success and the volume. I think it's interesting, that we're not getting as much response for as many emails as we've sent out. So I think, we're going to have to, I guess, find some other avenues to reach people too, right? Whether we're sending messages on Handshake or calling them, well, I'm not going to jump ahead too much. I'll just say, yeah, let's leave it at that. We'll talk more when we're done with the team report. So I'm really excited about where we're at with recruitment, and really excited about the opportunity for the weeks coming ahead for us. So thank you, everybody. Awesome. Go recruitment. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So next, let's have the business team go next. Tatiana and Isatu. Thank you guys for holding it down. Let's give them a hand just for being the 2-person business team and holding it all together. Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, so for the business team, we previously had a goal of working with ClickUp, but since we are kind of a small team, we've decided that we would maybe try to find an outside source that could provide us with the proper information, to, go about implementing a project management system. And then
Can I interrupt you for just a second, Tatiana?
Yeah.
I just have to say, because you're mentioning that specifically, that I actually connected with a friend of mine today that, again, is somebody I hadn't talked to in over 5 years. And he was the one that originally turned me on to HubSpot years ago. He's like, hey, you got to use this HubSpot system. So I've been using it since, and that's like the de facto now, right? So today we were talking, and he was going over what he's been doing and what he's been doing with his business and everything. And he's like, and you've got to have a really good project management software for sure. You definitely have to have that. You have to use ClickUp. That's definitely the best one. And we've been using it for this, and we've been using it for that. So he's got all this very intricate build out with ClickUp and all of that. So we might have found, our expert or an expert that can support with how to roll it out and that sort of thing. Thank you, Isatu, for the thumbs up. So yeah, so that's the thing, is that, once we start to put these fingers out into the world, then it gives the universe all these different channels to send us exactly what we're looking for. So then it's just a matter of time to find everything we need. So I just thought that was amazing, and that you guys would appreciate that. So please continue.
yeah, that's definitely great news. So maybe we could use him or them when we start to implement it. But
Yeah, he's still deciding if he's going to be a leadership council member or not, because of all the different considerations. So if he is, that's a whole nother level, because then he's coming in to support us and to give us solutions, all that sort of thing. He's not sure he has the time and all of that to do that right now. So he may not be the one, because he doesn't have the time to do it, but he's giving us a model, and we'll find somebody soon for sure.
sounds great. And then the next thing was, we've just decided that we would work on finding job descriptions or creating job descriptions for the business team and the possible project management one, which may be debatable now, but we should still create it, I think. But that's what we've
Yeah, we
been
definitely
doing so far.
we need to, that was the thing he was saying, is that if you're going to use ClickUp, you have to have somebody that's really managing the whole, ClickUp process. You've got to have your ClickUp experts, that's what they do within the team. So that's what we have to look for. And he can at least give us some, some kind of guidance or tutelage. I'm sure I could shoot a half-hour video with him, of him showing us all the things that we could do with ClickUp or something like that. But yeah, we definitely should be recruiting people, because even once we have the software, we still need the project management people to really bring the expertise.
Yes, but that's all we have had for the business team so far, unless Isatu has anything to add, or Jared.
Isatu?
Tatiana pretty much said everything. So yeah, that's what we've been working on this week. ClickUp and the job descriptions. And you said it was your friend that recommended you the HubSpot, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's exciting to hear.
Mhm. Yep, he's got a good track record so far. HubSpot was a winner, and that was many years ago. That was like 7-8 years ago, and now ClickUp. Yeah, I think the only other thing that I would add on the business team side is that we're inching towards the close of the semester, there's a lot of things that need to be done for some of you with like practicum paperwork and accounting of hours and evaluations and different things. So the business team has been in the process of collecting and organizing all of those requirements. So if you have any kind of practicum requirements, paperwork, evaluations, check-in, whatever, anything, then the business team needs to know as soon as possible, what all of the, deadlines and dates are and all of that. So we've got it all mapped out in a calendar in advance. So that's something that you can expect to work with the business team on, all of you, even if you're not, in a practicum or anything, as you guys saw, and we'll get to later. We have the spreadsheet that everyone filled out in terms of their ending date and all of that. So, again, just to give us all the ideas of what we need to do to wrap things up with exit interviews and testimonial videos and doing recommendations and just all the stuff that we want to make sure that we get done before the end of the semester. And so, it's time for us to start thinking about that and planning that and mapping it all out. And so that's what the business team is going to be doing to support us through that process. So yes, Tatiana mentioned in the chat, you can send any of that information to businessteam@unitingforaction.com. So that's the best way. And then everyone on the business team can get it. So great. So having said all that, anything else, Tatiana or Isa2 to add? Good from Tatiana. Isa2, I'll take it as you're good. So I think then let's go ahead and let's have the combined team share. So Mariana, Katie, I just realized we hadn't talked about minutes yet. Somebody taking the minutes? I hope somebody's taking it. I don't know why I always forget until later when it's the first thing on the agenda. Maybe I should look at the agenda. Let me pull it up. So should I take the silence as nobody is taking minutes as of yet?
It's me, but I'm just getting back to where I was going. So
okay, got it. Got it. Thank you, Renasia. Appreciate that. That's awesome. Okay, great. So Renasia is on that. So let me. Where's my browser? Why am I not seeing Safari? That's crazy. Safari fell off my dock. I don't know where to get it. It's funny. Okay. So let's stop sharing. I think while we're pulling it up, let's first of all have Johnny and Sabah, since you guys weren't here for the original agreement, can you please give your agreement now that we can share the video publicly with a thumbs up or a verbal yes?
Yes.
Can you say it again, Johnny? We didn't really get it very well.
Yes, for me.
Great. Thank you very much. And of course, please, be in gallery mode for the view, and please have your video on as much as you can so we can all see each other. So let me just allow you guys in the combined team to take it away, and you can share the agenda or go wherever you want with it. I think, what I want to say before you guys jump in is, again, I feel like, you guys tell me, it's just my impression, but I feel like we found a little bit of a groove here this week with kind of everybody all fitting into place a little bit better than we had, and the wheels spinning a little bit smoother. And it was really nice for me to see that, how it all came together like that. And so what we're going to do at the end of the meeting today, as I shared with you guys on Tuesday, but we never got to, is I really want to spend a good amount of time brainstorming about how we go forward. I'm going to share with you guys, some new ideas and thoughts, and then we're going to do some brainstorming about how the team can implement all of that. And that's where I want you guys to really, feel into the way the team was really working really well together this week, and really kind of get an idea of how to create things that we can flow into as a team. Does that make sense? As we're planning for what like next week looks like, and the week following that we're actually envisioning in our heads, like whatever we're thinking about, we're in our heads, we're breaking down into hours and tasks, and how many people we have, and how many hours we have, and what we could actually accomplish during those weeks, and for us to be really tuned into the flow of what we can do as a team. You guys understand what I'm saying? And I think, that it's kind of an ideal that we've been working towards for a while, that I think that these, the way that we're tracking everything and accounting for everything is really helping us with, because we have like a real realism to everything, right? Like we are translating all the ideas that we're talking about in the world into what it actually looks like in terms of numbers of hours, and what people's tasks are looking like, and what their days are looking like, and how much chatting we need to do to figure things out, and whatever all of that looks like, right? So I really feel like super great. I think it's a new breakthrough, honestly, for the whole team to be operating and functioning in this way. And I'm excited to see how it can even deepen even more in the next few weeks that we have together, and how we can really embrace this to really hone in, especially tonight, on how we can best use the teams to create what it is we all want to create together. So let me just start by projecting all that, but then also again thanking you guys for everything that you're providing. And in saying that, I'm also feeling like we're missing Maria. Does anybody know where Maria is, or that she was going to be missing? I'm feeling like maybe we should send her a text. I don't see a message from her. Hold on one second real quick. Oh, I did get a message. I'm sorry. Okay, so she is going to be joining us as soon as she can. Hadn't seen that message. Okay, so she will be late. Okay, great. So let's, I think let's continue with the team report, even though she's not here now. I think we need to do it now. So let's go ahead and do the team report now, and then she'll catch up with us when she gets here. So Mariana and Katie, thank you guys so much. Let's all give a hand to the combined teams, the research team, the production team, the outreach team. Everyone is doing a stellar job and doing a really amazing job just coming together in a new way, and a new combined team so quickly and so well. So awesome. Thank you. And thank you for everyone on the team here. Renasia, Alexis, Johnny, Sabah. Thank you guys so much. And Mariana, who's not here. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Really great. Please take it away.
Yeah. As with last week, this week, the combined team was focused on processing videos. We also got all of our finalized timestamps for the video that we were all working on last week, all completed. So that's exciting.
It is, yes, absolutely.
Let's see. I think it ended up being like
Some claps for that. It ended up being, what did you say?
5 minutes.
Great. Awesome. Cool. I can't wait to see.
Yeah. And then we also, Jared gave us, I think it was 9 additional videos or something like that. And so we split that up into little teams. We had Alexis, Renasia, Johnny, and Sabal working on different videos. And then me, Mariana, and Maria worked on 2 others. And then we also have little smaller videos that we're probably going to put into compilations of some sort at some point. Yeah, so I guess, do we want the different teams to show what they have?
Sure, sure. Yeah, that's great. Thank you for the ways that you guys organized around that. That was super great that you guys, figured out how to break all of that up and make it all happen, and how the leaders got together to kind of sort it all out together and then shared it with the team. I really liked how you guys did that. That was really great. And, great that everybody did that. So I would say, just present it however you'd like, share whatever you'd like. The other thing I want to say before you do, I mentioned it, in the combined meeting the other night, and I'll share it again now. It may be new for some of you that weren't in there. So we're having this showcase and grand showcase. So I think there's some, right? Isatu and Tatiana and Cassidy, you guys haven't heard about the showcase and the grand showcase yet, right?
I have in the executive team meeting.
An executive team meeting. Right. Okay, I forgot. Right. So it was in there. And so Tatiana and Isatu, you guys did get it in the executive team meeting as well, right? So everybody has heard it? Okay, perfect. Okay, great. Okay, so perfect. So the reason I'm bringing it up now again is because essentially, what you guys are showing now, you're showing your work, and this is essentially what we're going to be doing in the grand showcase, which is going to be the first Thursday in December. So I think that's exactly 4 weeks from today. It is 4 weeks from today. So 4 weeks from today, we're going to be presenting to the Leadership Council, as I mentioned, and then also potentially to any past people who worked on the project, past students that have been part of the project. And what we're going to do, and I'm starting to get into more of the stuff I'm going to share later. So let's not dive into that now. Let's go ahead and let the combined team go ahead and share everything. So I would say, Katie and Mariana, just, present it however you'd like, run it however you'd like. I'm totally open. And thank you guys.
All right, so I just want to thank you, the whole team, because this week has been amazing. We have really worked well together, and I just want to acknowledge everyone for that. And should I share like what the teams worked on?
Sure.
All right.
Yeah, this is the time, again, that's kind of why I was bringing up as the grand showcase is the grand show. This week is the week to show what everyone's done, right? This is the week that it gets recorded and it'll be stored, for the world to see all the work that people did. So let's definitely highlight and showcase, everyone's work for the week for sure.
All right, so I'm gonna share my screen. Okay, are you guys seeing it?
Yes.
Okay, so here we have our time tracker.
Nice.
And here that's the document. We finalized the 11-minute video. We found the right timestamps for everything. And let me just see
Nice.
here. I saw that Katie put here. So here it's the clips that me, Katie, and Maria, we got for video 7.
Mm-hmm.
So we put all the timestamps here, and we put like the seconds, and we put like the what Jared is saying on the clips, and we added up to a 2 minute and 8 seconds total. So
great.
It was really good.
Yeah, that is really good.
Yeah. So we also did this other one right here. Yeah. So we also did this other video, which was video 6. And we did basically the same. We added our comments on the other side, and we got the video clips. And yes, so that one was a total of 1 minute and 24 seconds, which was shorter, which I believe it's really good. It's what we're looking for.
Yeah, that's really wonderful. So just to be clear now, so we've got all the timestamps separated and we know how long it's going to be, but we haven't actually put them into a video yet to be able to run the video through. Okay, great. So we'll do that, and then we'll have that ready for Tuesday so we can see that, or even I guess before that. But go ahead. This is perfect. This is really, really great.
All right, yeah. And then Renasia, she put in here all the videos that she and her group were working on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's, I believe, was her personal one. Oh yeah, so they have everything for each video, which is really good. So they put like the timestamps for each video that we assigned, which looks perfect.
Yeah.
So
Great.
yes, that's how we did it.
Yeah. So that's Renasia and Alexis. Anybody else?
Renasia and Lexis, Sabah and Johnny. Yeah.
Oh, great. Awesome. Awesome, guys. Wonderful. I'm very happy to see that.
Yeah. Thank you, team. That was really good.
Yes, it was really good. That's really great. Thank you, team. Way to go, team. Yes. Exciting, exciting. Super great. Super great. Great. Anybody else on the team want to share about the experience of it, what it was like, or just anything you guys want to share about it?
We all communicated very well, and we all got the work done that we needed to get. That was really great.
Sounds like it, and it looked like it. Yeah, I would say that, definitely looks like a breakthrough for our team and just being on it and everything. And it's really, really great. What a great standard that you guys are setting and showing the world what we're capable of. That's so cool. My heart is so warmed by what I'm seeing. I have to tell you guys, I'm so proud of you. You guys are really evolving and progressing quickly and really turning into a really high level team. So awesome. I honor and appreciate each one of you. Thank you guys so much. It's beautiful. Awesome. Okay, great. So anything else to share? That's it? Okay, great. That's certainly enough. That's great. Cool. So where to start with this? So let's start by, first of all, let me take a thanks and an acknowledgement, first of all, for Katie for participating in 2 classes this week of presentations to Dr. Brown's class at the University of Miami. So thank you so much, Katie. Did it on Monday afternoon and then again on Wednesday evening, and really helped. And now we're going to get a video from yesterday's class. So we'll be able to have that, to show to everybody, this presentation, and Katie's part of the presentation. So super excited about that and having that video to use. And it was just a great, experience to connect with the students. And this class was different because the first class on Monday, they were all sitting in a room. I mentioned that to those of you that I talked with, since they were sitting in a classroom at the University of Miami. So it was just the camera kind of angled across the room, and it was, people were a little small in the frame, and, you couldn't really see everybody. But the other class on Wednesday was a Zoom class like this, so we could see everybody's faces live. And Dr. Brown likes to have all the cameras on, so we had like 50 faces in front of us. And it was really, really awesome to connect with the students and hear their questions. And some of them were really probing in their questions. And one thing I'm going to share, I probably should have shared this in the recruitment team meeting. I invited the students to, of course, join us, communicate with us. I gave them a web page on Uniting for Action that I built for Dr. Brown's class that had a little submission form. And we did have one student that was one of the students that was asking questions and showing the most interest. She sent us a form saying that she's interested in working with us. So that's really, really exciting. Yes. I sent her an email reply. Yes, definitely get some claps for that. Yes. And actually, when I mentioned it to Dr. Brown today and mentioned the student that replied, he said, she's a really special student and he's glad that she replied to us. So I sent her an email reply. I had invited her to be here, tonight if she was able to. Now I'm thinking about it. I actually never sent her the Zoom link, but we talked about connecting, but I didn't hear back from her after that. I should check to see if she replied since then, if she's trying to get into our meeting now. But she, it just shows she was one of, several students that were really engaged in the content. And one of the students in particular was really getting into the algorithms behind the ways the system works, not to, like she was talking about things like having class equity where, different people, if they have a degree, aren't put in a higher class than people who couldn't necessarily afford to get a degree, is kind of some of the things that she was saying. Those types of issues, which I'm sure you guys talk about in your classes and that sort of thing more than I'm exposed to, but all the different, potential biases inherent in systems and in programming and in algorithms and ways not to discriminate and all of those sorts of things, based on, economics or access to technology and all of that, on and on and on and on. So, she was mentioning, all right, well, is it going to be based on blockchain technology, and that sort of thing. And as she was going, deeper into the questions and the details, I was saying, that's really great, that I was explaining, let me give you guys the quick answer. I don't want to go so deep into all this, but basically the quick answer that I was kind of coming back to her question and others was that we're not actually, while we are proposing essentially a solution, an end-to-end solution for how society can deal with its major challenges and then pool all of its resources and then develop a collective strategic solution that incorporates all those resources and then have all of those projects and actions broken down to the nano actions. And therefore now we have an end-to-end solution between the global challenges and the nano actions and all the things that need to happen in between to make it all work. So that, for those of you that haven't heard it, you can see I keep distilling it down more and more and more through all these conversations and all of these meetings and all of these videos. And that process that I just described is the framework that we're creating within which the solutions can be developed. So does everybody see that? I know I'm languaging it a little bit differently than I have before. So I want to make sure that everybody is following me. You guys getting that when I say, this is the framework within which solutions can be developed and implemented? Yeah, definitely everybody put your thumbs up. Thank you guys that you are. So I got that you're there with me. Isa2 and Renasia, you guys following along as well? Yes, Renasia, great. Isa2, great. Thank you guys. Okay, perfect. So the that being said, what we've been doing as a team for a year now, and what's very interesting, and I didn't even think to mark the occasion last week. So and I forgot that we were going to do it now. We get to take a moment to stop and celebrate that last week. Last week we had our 1-year anniversary of the Vaccine Considerations Project. So let's all celebrate that we have existed as a project for a year, and that it was a year ago exactly last week that we first had the first meeting following. Thank you for all the celebrations and all the emojis. Yeah, that's great. That I first presented to Dr. Brown's class, that we first started having meetings with students and the whole thing got going. So it was really fitting that I was back in Dr. Brown's class again this week, 1 year later, and amazing to see the whole evolution of everything. But to get back to the point I was making is that that whole end-to-end solution that I just described to you, that is just a perspective solution that we're sharing with the world, that once our framework is built out, we'll simply compete against other solutions to be whatever is the best solution that all the stakeholders want to adopt. Does everybody get that? We're kind of like jumping ahead of the game a little bit by like saying, here's the solution. Our solution is not actually the solution. our solution that we're putting forward is the best solution that we have as a group right now, that's both simultaneously working on building the system and being a user of the system. But when the system is more fully developed and has all of the infrastructure built out, whatever solution we come up with is not going to be like the solution that everybody implements. Our solution will just be one proposed solution next to another, next to another, next to another. And it's those proposed solutions that will then be looked at by all the experts and all of the strategic planners, and it'll be narrowed down to, let's say, top 10 solutions for how we address climate change on the planet or something like that, okay? And then you as a user of the system, as just a person that is out there in the world that's, come together to help, address all this. Let's say that you're providing $100 per month to the collective pool of resources. And let me just explain this really quickly, because I've been explaining this a lot to people I've been talking with, and I'm not sure we've ever put it on video in our meetings. But in the collective pool of resources, where we want to get to as quickly as we can is to have 100% of all of the individual contributions. So all the individuals, families, individuals that are giving $25 a month, $100 a month, $1,000 a month, whatever it is that they're putting financially into the collective pool of resources, as quickly as possible. We want 100% of whatever they're putting in to be distributed to the solutions. So in other words, they would be giving like $100 a month, and they would say, I want 50% of what I'm giving each month to be devoted towards climate change solutions. And then of the climate change solutions, here's all like the top 10 solutions that are now up for votes, so to speak. And the way they get votes is I get to say, out of my $50, my 50% of my $100, I would put 50 of that to this one solution per month. I would put 25 to this one solution. I wouldn't fund this one. I wouldn't fund this one. I would give 10 a month to this one, whatever. And so you go down the line. And so everyone's essentially voting with their pledges. So everyone is pledging into the solutions that they would willingly give money to if it was a winning solution. And then based on all of those pledges, the top funded, so to speak, solutions that get fully funded essentially become the de facto winning solutions and are now funded from all of the crowd and everybody contributing. And now, collectively, that's what we're working with. Those are the solutions that all the individuals, businesses, nonprofits, everybody is executing the plans that were laid out, that people decided to fund, that got fully funded, and now it's going forward, kind of like a Kickstarter, essentially, right? So any questions about that whole process that I just described? Does everybody get all of that? Give me a thumbs up to make sure that, you're still with me. I want to make sure I'm not losing people. Okay, great. Thank you guys for all the thumbs up. Perfect. So in that whole process, again, we, Uniting for Action, is the framework builder, right? We're defining the ways that all of this could work. We're offering like a blueprint. We need all of the contractors to show up to build it out, right? So imagine again that we're just a blueprint company and we can do nothing to build up a building, right? What we're doing is we're walking the blueprints around to get all of the contractors to show up, all of the funders to show up, all the pieces that need to show up to actually create a physical building in the world from the blueprints that we're creating. Does everybody see that kind of analogy? Okay, great. I won't even wait for all the thumbs. I think that was pretty straightforward enough. So in that space, it's quite easy for us to be the neutral organization that we've talked about, because we're the content holders. We're not being the content creators necessarily, right? So as you guys know, it's been a bit muddled, over the last, year, with us simultaneously being the neutral framework, but also simultaneously having this in-house project called the Vaccines Considerations Project, that while working on maintaining our neutrality and us, I think, doing a very good job of maintaining our neutrality, I can tell you that with the conversations I'm having with people out in the world, and I think you guys probably know this better than me, with you all being integrated in social media and out in the world and me being cut off from that up until now, that people are telling me that just by seeing vaccine anything on our website, it's like a signal to them that we're something about vaccines, that it's not even a matter of knowing whether we're for or against, neutral, all of that, that already there's a reaction by a lot of people in the world when we're talking about that we have a global solution, and yet we're starting with this issue that is, I thought originally would be non-polarizing, as you guys know, is terribly polarizing in our society. So we're in the midst, as I'm laying all of this out for you, and I don't even know like what this all still looks like in the end. So I'm in the exploration with all of you, but we're in the midst of transitioning the Vaccine Considerations Project into a project that is using the framework of Uniting for Action as much as any entity could, but it's not going to be the in-house project of Uniting for Action after some period of time. It essentially, and this is the thing, and it's very interesting. That's why, again, we're going to be brainstorming about it, and I have no idea. It's these concepts are just coming to me in the last couple of days, so it's almost as new to me as it is to you. I really haven't had a lot of time to process it yet, but I'm realizing that, again, as I'm having conversations with people and I'm talking with them about framework, and they totally get framework, and they totally get how we can be a framework to hold all of these things, and then how that conversation gets blown up by this, Vaccine Considerations Project that we're simultaneously working on. You guys see what I'm saying? And I don't want, so there's two things at play here for me. One, all the work that we've done in the Vaccine Considerations Project to this point is all a really super valid model, like we've always intended it to be, to show people how these tools can be used to create all these results. And so therefore, that's part of why over the next month, we want to do a really, really good job of taking all the work that we've been doing and packaging it up in all the ways that we can tell the story and show exactly how all these things do all these, models. So it can forever exist as a real great, grounded model of all of this stuff, right? So that is the first thing. And that's why it becomes like really important, for us as a team over the next 4 weeks to use all the skills and tools we've been developing, especially in like the video processing. We're probably going to want to go back through the semester and find pieces of meetings from, earlier that talk about, booster research and polarization research, all the different things that we've done to be able to pull pieces of meetings and parts of this to be able to put it all together in our booster research page, on our website, and have all of it show up on your individual profile pages, all the work that you've done. And we've talked about that, right? So that's another thing that we're going to be, every one of you will get to have a profile page on the website where you can have, all the clips of you talking and presenting and the work that you've done and everything, whatever you want. And it'll be up to you, but, this is the opportunity to have all of it be there, as this open source project. And that's where, again, with the website itself, the website's going to completely transform very quickly. We've been talking about it for a while. I'm going to be working as much as I can in the next couple of days on it. At least it's going to take a bit longer, but to really, like we've talked about, take out almost everything that's there right now on the website and replace it with more of what our meetings look like and what our documents look like and what our work looks like, right? For everyone to actually see our work as much as if they were, browsing in our Google Drive, and we'll start to do that too, right? We're going to have to figure that out. Now I'm saying that maybe the business team, the executive team, we're going to have to start figuring out, I think the solution, I don't want to get into it now, but we have to keep, our own documents that we're working on the Google Drive restricted to us as users for editing capabilities. We can't just have anyone in the world showing up and starting to edit our document that we're working on. So we'll have to keep that. But I think, like every day or a couple of days or however it's appropriate for whatever documents are getting edited, that we make a copy of that document that's like a snapshot, that we make that copy available for viewing for the world, not necessarily editing, but that way people can have, there's like a public version of our Google Drive where anybody can browse and see like what all the latest versions of our work are, up to the last day or 2 days or something. So again, we have to figure that out, but I want to give this to you guys as a visual so you understand where we're going with this in terms of like presenting all of our work to the whole world all the time, right? We've been talking about being this open source project, and we're doing a great job now of sharing the videos. I don't know if you guys have gone to our YouTube channel recently, but if you look, there's a whole lot of videos there, where we didn't have any videos a couple months ago, and there's still more to add, and we will. But now to start doing it with our Facebook page and our Instagram page, and all the other pages, and even because I've been telling people, we're now making all of our meetings live. We're recording all of our meetings and putting them on YouTube. And they said, well, are you broadcasting live? And I had been thinking of it, but it hadn't been in my mind recently, but we will soon start broadcasting live onto YouTube, live onto Facebook, live onto Instagram. So production team, you can put that on your agenda right now, because as soon as we've got it figured out, why not have this meeting live? That's essentially what we're working on doing anyways. And we'll start to have more interactivity, all that sort of thing. But again, to bring it all back to where we're at with the Vaccine Considerations Project right now is I would love to see, some kind of administration continuing of the work that we've begun with the Vaccine Considerations Project. I would love to see some, continuation and expansion like we've talked about. It's just that it's going to have to be essentially like adopted by some, organization. It could even be a group of you guys, frankly, that just say, hey, let's like find a way to make this keep going. Or even, again, spend the next few weeks like, trying to find a nonprofit that wants to take all that we've been doing and work with it, or a group of people that want to, or whatever. Because I think, again, that we've built a lot of foundation for others to build on. But I think that you guys see that it undercuts our message of building a framework for society when we're simultaneously doing this other thing that's almost like a side project to building the framework for society. And it is, and it was always meant to be a model project, but in a way it's becoming a bit of a liability for us to be able to keep growing and keep being this, independent, neutral platform framework separate from the content in that framework. Does everybody understand that? And I'm very eager to hear what you guys think, because, in certain respects, it's a little sad for me, especially if no one is going to take it over and carry it on. And not, again, we're going to leave it in a space where anybody could turn the key and start driving it right away, right? We're going to package everything up and put everything out there that anybody could pull all the pieces together and keep doing exactly what we've been doing, or even better, right? So it's really just a matter of whether there's a demand in the world for that. And if there is, we're offering, all of this for free, essentially, right? So it's in the public domain, it's out there. And now we get to see, again, how we use it in order to take those next steps as an organization, as an entity, to be able to grow into all of these issue areas, right? So that it's not just the Vaccine Considerations Project, but it's health equity and social justice, and it's it's healthcare access and technology disparity, and on and on and on and on, right? But I want to hear from you guys about what your thoughts are. And again, this is it's a big deal, you know, in the way that this shifts things. And you know, let me hear from you guys for a little bit. What do you guys think about all of this?
I think it's a little kind of sad, you know, we're letting go of the project in a way, but I also definitely think that there are other organizations that would be willing to take this over, because I think this is kind of an important topic. So I'm sure there will be someone or somewhere, some organization out there.
You know, I really appreciate you saying that, Tatiana. And I think, and I agree, and that's the thing, is that it's really up to us. And that's why I'm emphasizing, you know, not only the grand showcase is just going to be a small slice of it, but you guys are going to package all of this up in a way, again, that it can just be unboxed and used by anybody at any time. So it's not like we have to have the organization that's going to ultimately use it even be there, you know, when as we transition out of this semester. It could be another month down the road or 2 months down the road before there's you know, some news story, a publicity about us that then, you know, makes the whole public aware that there's this whole big project that we've put in mothballs for a little bit, and then all of a sudden there's all of these organizations showing up saying, yes, we'd love to keep carrying this torch. So I agree. I think that there's way too much in all of this for some organizations not to be able to use it and really, you know, take advantage of it. And we can provide support with that. And that's the other part of it, you know, and I'll mention this and then I'll let you guys share some more, because I definitely want to hear you guys' thoughts about this. But where I see us going as an organization is two things. One, it is providing the framework, of course. And so a lot of the interns going forward are going to be working on the framework. And that still can very much be in public health and still can very much be in vaccines. But what it's going to look like from now on is it's going to look like each student that's showing up, essentially specifying the channels that they want to tune into, right? Like you're saying, you know, I'm interested in this, I'm interested in this, I'm interested in this. You got like your checklist of interest. And as you show up with, along with all the other students that show up, along with all the other people that show up in the world that and experts in area that's tuning into that channel, now you get to work with them to help implement the ideas and the concepts and the infrastructure and all of that within Uniting for Action into your interest area in collaboration with the others that are also interested in that area. You get what I'm saying? So it's in a way almost like each one of you becomes a project manager of your pet project using all the technology and using all that's there. But you don't have to do it on your own, because there can be a whole bunch of other project managers that are showing up at the same time. And then you guys can choose who's going to be the leader and how are you going to structure things. And as each of you are doing that, then you're really all creating an example for how the system can be used to achieve, you know, all these different projects. And so again, just one of you could, you know, just like have a conversation with somebody and they could say, that's amazing what you've been doing. I want to, you know, fund you for $200,000 for you to take the lead and you to take all of this and start going with it. And one of you could be in that situation where you found a funder and now they're paying you a salary, and now you've got the whole vaccine considerations project to work with and you're salaried to do it. So you guys see how like this can go in all kinds of different directions, and it's just a matter of, you know, we're generously offering the world all that we've done in an open source way so that anybody can take it and work with it and, you know, put it out into the world in a valuable way. And in that respect, we haven't lost anything by shifting our time and attention to any particular other direction. And again, this is the way I'm seeing it. And these are the conversations we're going to start to have in the recruitment team. But again, I want to have it openly with you guys to start with, is what does it look like to be an intern in Uniting for Action going forward? You know, what do you do as an intern? So that's where I'm saying there's going to be two, you know, choices essentially, and you could do both. But the one choice is helping to build out the infrastructure, helping to build out the framework, figuring out, how we use, ClickUp to define these things, how we create time trackers, how we break these things down into nano actions, all the different ways that we're building the mechanism, the framework that, again, allows solutions to develop. And then the other part of it is essentially like consultants. So it's just like a big business consulting firm, and you guys may know, I mean, they actually do this as well, is, bring in interns, train them up, and then send the interns out into the field to be able to go and, sit in on a corporation and provide consulting to them, right? And let them know how they should do this and how they should do that, and that sort of thing. So I think that's going to be a big part of the internship opportunities going forward, is for nonprofit organizations, businesses, everybody that's catching wind of what we're doing as an organization, and they want to be able to, nano actionify their business, where they're using the process that we've developed in their business in order to create results. Thank you, Sabah, for the thumbs up. So that, it's basically, again, where we can have, let's say, a public health student join the project that's really interested in like how these systems can help transform local public health departments. And then basically, we can have local public health departments knocking on our door saying, we want to start to, use the systems that you guys are putting out into the world. And we can say, great, we've got these public health interns that we've trained up, and now they're going to embed with your organization to help get you guys up to speed on this. You guys kind of see like some of the direction of that, where it's almost like we're an outsourcing placement agency to provide consulting into all of these different sectors of society to show them what it looks like to start integrating with this ecosystem that we're creating. Thank you for the thumbs up, Tatiana and Sabah. Thank you for you guys nodding your heads. So great. I want to make sure everyone's still staying with me, because I know I'm going deep now into some topics. So everyone's still there. Oh, great. Isatu too. Alexis, do you have a question? Are you raising your hand?
Yeah, I was telling you I have to leave at 7.
Okay,
So
got it.
In case you see me bow out, I'm just not leaving randomly.
Okay,
But I'm
thank you.
listening though.
Thank you for letting us know. I appreciate it. Thanks for being here. Okay, great. So I think, so there's the consulting side. So we've got the infrastructure building side, we've got the consulting side, and then essentially, kind of like a project management side, right? Where like, again, you can take the interest area that's of interest to you, you can come into Uniting for Action, and you can, use our tools and our techniques to start reaching out to experts and start developing expert panels and start connecting with departments of health and community-based organizations and start developing content. And, you can situate yourself anywhere you want in the middle of that, in conjunction with other students that are doing the same. It's just that when you're doing that part of it, you're not going to be doing it within our weekly team meetings. You're going to be managing that externally in your own meetings that you're having to create all of that. You guys get what I'm saying? That's where we're going to create the distinction, is that the Uniting for Action weekly meetings are going to be focused on the infrastructure building, the integration with the world, the services that we're providing, because we're going to still be, a production house. We're still going to be producing videos and websites, and everything there will be to produce will eventually be producing for all of these entities in the world, because that's going to, of course, help create the content and all the things that we're doing. So again, that's a whole nother side of it now that I'm saying it. So again, there's a lot of element, and it's going to get even bigger, way bigger, because like, again, even yesterday, even though it was in a public health class, I didn't think that, I'd be going so deep into the algorithmic specificity of, how is this going to be built? But I got from the questions that the student was asking that for those students that are really into, you know, this kind of tech and these kinds of issues, like this is the cutting edge of where the rubber meets the road about the things that we're talking about, right? And what I told her, and I don't know if she'll follow up, but we can certainly follow up. What I told her is, you know, what you're talking about is really important and really great. And what I told her is that it's not up to us to like figure that out. We're not as an organization trying to figure out the answers for that. We're creating the framework where the people like you can connect with the experts that know about that, ask the questions, develop the answers, and you guys work those out and figure out what best practices are and work with the people that are building the technology and do it all together right here within the framework. You know, we're not going to tell you what the answers to that are. You're going to tell us what the answers to that are, right? Within your collective collaborative process. And that really landed for her and for the class. And what I said was, you know a lot about this. You know the people that know a lot about this. I would encourage you to write a job posting for us. And if you write a job posting for us, I'll give it to our recruitment team and we'll put it out there, you know, out there into the schools. And then we'll recruit a whole team of people that are addressing these types of issues with the blockchains and the algorithms and all the different, you know, things that are in there. For those of you that know, I'll just throw it out there because I met with a friend of mine last night that was the second person that told me this when I was talking about, you know, all of this stuff. And he said, what you need is a DAO. And I'm still not totally clear what that is. Maybe some of you know it does have to do with blockchain technology and crypto and all of that. And that's the thing, is that now there's all these people telling me like, you know, you have to be in with crypto with all of this, and you have to have a crypto base and all this sort of stuff that isn't even on our radar screen right now, right? Hey, Maria, great to see you. So, you know, that's the thing, is there's whole branches of where we're going to be going with all of this that don't even exist on our radar yet, just because we don't have those students in here yet. But now, again, as we're opening up to all of this, we're creating the opportunity for all of that to show up and plug in. And that's where I want you guys to get the sense that it's not that, you know, the Vaccine Considerations Project or any of the interests that you guys have around anything can't exist within the framework. It all can exist within the framework. It's just that those things won't be addressed within the Uniting for Action team meetings. They'll be addressed separately within side projects of whoever is finding each other and coordinating with each other to, you know, use the system to be able to put that out there. So does that make sense to everybody? And is everybody good with all of that? And give me, you know, all of your feedback again. Yeah, thank you for the thumbs up for you guys. Yeah, let's do a round of feedback because I do want to see if there's questions, comments, all of that. Thank you guys for sharing all of that. Thank you, Sabah, for the celebration. I appreciate that. Now that, let me get all your feedback. And then once I get all your feedback, then we'll see if there's anybody that has any, you know, challenges or problems or anything that really needs to be addressed with anybody on the team regarding these kinds of shifts. So anything anybody would like to say?
I guess I just have like sort of a clarifying question, because what it sounds like to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, is basically interns will both be a part of creating Uniting for Action and, like you said, the infrastructure and everything, and then can also at the same time participate in utilizing like what we're creating here. So they're sort of like within and without it.
That's what I'm trying to figure out too, honestly, Cassidy. And that's where I expect we're going to answer it as a team. You know, I'm not sure I'm going to come up with the answer. I think you guys are going to come up with the answer around this. How do we sort through this? Because even as I'm saying it all, and I'm thinking to myself, so are they going to sit on our teams and then be like consulting with a nonprofit that is doing, you know, this sort of thing? And then they talk about, you know, the work that they're doing for and with the nonprofit within the team structure. And then if they're doing that, then are we now back into where we're supporting, you know, certain causes or things versus not, right? So I'm still not clear, you know, how and where we draw the line and, you know, all the different types of roles. I'm just almost like stream of consciousness that I'm with you guys now around this. And I'm just trying to show you at least several different roles that I can see for students and all of that. But I think we do need to kind of work those details out so that you can get that what we're working on doing here is being able to stand super firmly in the neutral zone, not only because we don't take sides, but because we don't actually even, what's the word I'm looking for? We are not users of the system. Uniting for Action is not users of the Uniting for Action system, right? So, and that's where even like I can see, even because you guys know how passionate I am about a lot of different issues and stuff, I could see, there being a parallel, Uniting for Action nonprofit that does take, sides on issues. And then that entity uses the Uniting for Action, technology and platform and all of that in order to, pursue these different things. So in that case, I think it becomes much more straightforward, because then if you're a student that's just focusing on the framework and the infrastructure, then here you are in Uniting for Action doing that. And then if you're a student that really wants to use the system and make a difference using the system, then maybe you're an intern for Uniting for Action nonprofit, where that's the purpose, of the entity. So that may be the solution in the end. I'm still, I'm not sure, but that's what we're in the exploration of. And I don't necessarily expect to figure that out tonight, but I'm glad we're in the conversation. I want to keep hearing what you guys think. You'll keep processing this, I'll keep processing this. But I think, naturally, and especially, and it seems to me kind of, fortuitous the way we've been allowing our recruitment postings to be kind of getting retired, and we're about to put new postings out into the world. And it's where, like right now, in the past couple of days, I was like, wow, this could really change exactly what we're going to put in those postings, right? And so I'm really trying to figure that out, and we're going to have to figure it out relatively quickly. And I think also Cassidy and others on the team, I think we want to have that meeting with Sarah now I'm totally spacing her name. Isitude, please help me with the name of the career services person we've been talking about at OSU.
Oh, her name is Amy Soder.
Amy, right? Yes, Amy Soder. So, have a meeting with Amy and some of these other people that we've been talking about, some of the other schools that we've been working with, as quickly as we can, to almost kind of, lay this out for them and let them, help us navigate how to work through this. Because a lot of how we do want to a lot of how we want to navigate through this is essentially the ways the schools and the career services offices are going to be able to work with us best, right? As much as we're interfacing with the schools for the sources of the interns, which is, obviously we are. So I think it's time for us to, whether it's some portion, I guess that's probably what it's going to have to be. This is probably going to be the next video that we're going to be processing, so that we can cut this down to like a 5 or 10 minute version that we can send to some of these career services offices, just to give them kind of a preview of where we're at and what we're working on doing and the types of positions. And we can, cut in some more specifics about the types of positions. But I think, again, it's a conversation for us to have with our clients, so to speak. The career services offices are our clients in a sense, right? And so we have to, kind of have this conversation with our clients to see what their needs are, what their client needs are, so we can know how to best serve them with our job postings and our website and everything. So it is an interesting and kind of big twist to the whole recruitment side. That's why I didn't want to kind of get ahead of myself when we were talking recruitment, but I knew we would get here. Let me take a pause just so, again, I can get more feedback from you guys, and then we can get into, more of the brainstorming of, so what does this look like for the coming week for our research team and for our production team and for our recruitment team and that sort of thing, which I do want to talk about as well. And I do want to wrap up by 7:30. So let's be intentional and see how far we can get with all of this. So who would like to share their thoughts, comments? Did you have any follow-up, Cassidy, from the question that you asked or the clarification? No. Okay. Who else has some thoughts they'd like to share? this is where I'm going to encourage your participation. So those of you just, I think, just say anything about what it makes you think about, if this seems like a very exciting development to you, or again, if there's some concerns or fears or questions or doubts. Yeah, Johnny.
I don't have any doubts for our goals, but it's more of the time that would be more of the issue for us to reach the point where we can like you mentioned it, like the point for us to reach certain things like getting the podcast um getting everything up, social media, lives, and all this. We need to have like a strong following group so we can see the numbers to see that it's working. And also your friend that was talking about the DAO, I guess he was talking about a way to attract people to have more of an interest in the company. And DAO is a form of stocks, and that's yeah, like you said, it's a whole different thing, and it'll be more of a mess because I don't think we would have any value like company wise value in our stocks. So it'll just be
Well, here, I'll just share that. And so this is a friend, I'll just share with you guys. This is a friend of mine again that I haven't spoken with, and we did figure it out. It was 2000 and it wasn't 10, it was 2017, I think is what he said it was. 2017 was the last time we connected, and he's way into the cryptocurrency world now and working with a lot of big heavy hitters in that world. And he said some things, and actually we have it on video, and I think he's going to give us, I think both of them are going to give us permission to share that video, which is really great. And also actually one of my friends that is joining the Leadership Council, I believe, had an in-depth conversation with me today about the whole vaccine side and whether, because again, he's about to potentially join the Leadership Council. And right now the Vaccine Considerations Project is front and center on our website. And he was saying that, I can't be sharing this with my network the way that this looks right now. I'm not about leading, with vaccines, and I can't be a leader for you if this is what I have to send to my friends. And so that's, again, the realness of this situation in the world and what it looks like. And so the other friend, what he said was, what you need to do is you need to set up a DAO, which, as you're saying, Johnny, does have some like value structure within the crypto world, I guess. Again, I'm not too up on this yet. And once you have a DAO and then you're out to 144, so I guess, again, that has to do with the nodes in the blockchain or something along those lines. Once you're up to 144, then you can, I hope I'm remembering it all correctly, then you can publish a white paper. And once you publish the white paper, send me the white paper and I'll take a look at it, and then I'll see what I can do to support you guys, basically. And so, what he was essentially saying was, he saw the vision of what we're up to. He saw, all that we want to do. But in this like high level world of high level people that he's working with and that he would do things with, like we're nowhere near yet where we need to be for him to be like showing us around to people that, of importance, in his world. But once we are doing all these things, we've got our branding down, we've got our systems down, we're gone to these levels of sophistication, technology wise, and that sort of thing, then he can start introducing us to his network. And it's going to be like that over and over again, right? That's kind of what our evolution will look like, right? But it's giving us a real like grounded sense now that we've been doing this all amongst ourselves. Now we're kind of testing ourselves to the world. These are the types of feedback that we're getting, right? So I think, what he was saying, Johnny, you were mentioning that we'll have like stock, but it won't have much value or something like that. Essentially what he was sharing with me, I think the long and the short of it is that if we have got our ducks in a row to that point where we've we've set up the DAO, we were out to 144, we've got the white paper, that sort of thing, then at least we're playing the game where he could potentially set up some like major funding, that would back what we're doing, essentially, type of thing. You get what I'm saying? So it's going to be something along those lines that we just have to, dot our I's and cross our T's to what the corporate and funding world is looking for to feel that we're serious enough startup to be putting capital behind, essentially, right? So that's again, it's really great. There's nothing wrong with that. It's awesome. We're starting to get in that game. We're starting to know what the rules of the game are for us to be able to be real in the minds of people who are bigwigs out in the world, right? People that have billions of dollars, like literally he's working with people that have billions of dollars that want to, invest in certain things and all those sorts of things. And that's all over the place. It's all out there around us. So it's really just a matter of us creating compelling and inspiring videos that get people's attention, that gets viral attention, that gets shared, and we'll have everything we want. Now that we're opening up the channels, it's just a matter of time, right? We're now in a whole new mode of evolution as an organization that's much more in alignment with having our ear to the marketplace and having all of these leaders show up every month to help guide us in all the ways that will help us be a star in their world, right? This is what you need to do in order for, you guys to be succeeding in my world of finance, my world of engineering, my world of marketing, my world of branding, my world. So, it's really, really amazing and exciting if you think about this, this crest that we're on the verge of with all of this. But again, there is that side of it that we've all been attached, me more than any of you, but I know you've all been attached to the Vaccine Considerations Project and the concept. And I do want to, again, assure you guys that it does get to live on regardless, because we are creating it, to show the world, and it is an amazing model in all these ways. So there's nothing that will disappear, and be lost. It's just going to be a matter of how is it going to be going forward. So again, let me hear some more comments, and then we'll get into our other brainstorming.
I guess for me, my only concern is that for my practicum, a lot of my stuff is vaccine focused. So are we going to make sure that everybody completes their practicum basically?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. Thank you for clarifying that, Katie. There's no doubt that the Vaccine Considerations Project, the work that we're doing will continue, and you can keep doing the work that you're doing. And it's going to be, again, essentially, and this is where we have to think through it and figure it out, because there is going to be some transition time, but I think it's going to be more like kind of like almost like what we've been doing, which is that, as you're doing your research and connecting with the others on the team, that it's going to be happening in like side meetings, right? And that it's just not going to be, what is the research team meeting going to look like? What are we going to talk about? I'm not sure exactly. And again, I know we're running out of time now, and I'm glad we're starting the conversation because I don't think it's going to end yet. And I think that probably between now and Tuesday, this probably is, the work for us to be doing, is to be having this kind of conversation as well as some other conversations. But I don't want to kind of like drop all the work that we're doing. We do have a lot of work to do. So let me answer any other questions, and then let's start talking about like what's our assignments as a research team this week? What's our assignments as an outreach team, a production team? So any other questions about the shifting, the working? Yeah, for sure. Let me absolutely assure you guys that I am committed to making sure that all of you guys get all of your competencies and get everything accomplished that you are here for. So there's no danger of getting pulled off of anything. So just make sure, with me, I've had midterm check-ins, mid-semester check-ins with almost all of you. And, again, if there's any, keep me on track with what we've talked about in terms of what you still need to get completed, before the end of the semester, to make sure that I would say even, for those of you that do have anything to be completed before the end of the semester on your practicum, put that in a document and send it to me and send it to business team at unitingforaction.com as well. So that, again, just as you guys know, it's the business team job, and the business team's been stretched thin. So we have compassion for them. It's the business team's job function within our organization to keep track of all of those requirements and all of those competencies, and if people are getting things done on time and making sure that there's time left to get things done and all those sorts of things. So yeah, I'm going to, leave it up to each of you to be individually responsible for making sure that you're getting your practicum requirements satisfied by you following up with the business team, you following up with me. Let's start with that. I want you guys also in communication with your team leaders about it, but also want to make sure that I'm tuned in and the business team is tuned in, and we're all tuned in to making sure that, everybody's getting all the experience that they need and wanted out of your time here. So does that sound good to everybody? Can I get a thumbs up from everybody on that one, just to make sure we're all in alignment on that? Sabah, Renasia, you guys in alignment on that? Great, thank you, Renasia. Thank you, Sabah. Okay, awesome. Okay, good. So with that being said, first of all, let's talk about anything that's still on the table. I think, again, right now, because of the mode we're in, and I think because we've gotten really good this week with, we talked about the other day, we talked about probably splitting up into teams this week and doing things separately this week. But I think right now, as we're starting to hit a groove, is not the time to break up the team. So I think let's have another week at even solidifying it even more and getting better practice and, camaraderie working together. So I think, again, that this video has got a lot of important things in it that we do need to summarize in certain ways. So I think this can be our next or one of our next ones to process. Tell me what else you guys think in terms of, in particular, I want to hear from the research team, since the research team may be, a bit different than this type of work, but also the outreach team and the production team, what you guys, think in terms of the work that we can be working on, if anything separate or additional to the processing of the videos. Let's start with the three of you. So let's start with Katie, and then Maria, and then Mariana.
Guess outside of processing, I'd be again interested to see what everybody else needs to get accomplished and see how we can start working on that.
I think that's good. So who else on the research team has competencies that you need to get fulfilled? I know that includes Sabah and Renasia and Alexis. Johnny, you don't have any formal requirements, right?
No, not yet.
Okay, great. Okay,
Yeah,
so yes,
for-
Sabah, you would like to say something?
Yeah, for this week, I have to get done with children vaccine analysis.
Mm-hmm.
Working on it, and I'll submit it by this weekend.
Yeah, and as Sabah, as you and I talked about in your mid semester review, that's the exact work you need to be doing right now to fulfill those competencies, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Sabah is on it, so that's great for Sabah. How about Renasia and Alexis? Or, well, Alexis is left, but so Renasia.
I don't really, I'm not going to be able to finish all of my hours this semester anyways, because I don't have enough. Well, I'm going to still be doing my internship, of course, or my practicum with you. However, I won't have 200 hours by the time the end of the semester is here, because I just haven't worked all of those hours. So the only thing that I have to worry about at the end of semesters, I think it's just an evaluation from you that I have to turn in. But I'll just be finishing up doing the internship or practicum until I reach my 200 hours.
Got it. Got it. Okay. And then in terms of the things for us to fulfill your competencies, I'm trying to remember them offhand. It has to do around research around like marginalized communities and some of that type of thing. Am I remembering that correctly, Renasia?
Yes, that's right. That's right.
So, okay, I think why don't you work with Katie and make sure that Katie knows, maybe you can share your competencies and everything with Katie, and make sure, Katie, that Renasia is having enough of her hours devoted, on a regular basis to whatever needs to get done to fulfill those competencies. That sound good to both of you?
Yeah, definitely. I can share it with her right after we get off the meeting.
Perfect. Okay, great. And so Katie, you'll check in with Alexis later as well, similarly? Okay, perfect. So I think in that case, did we cover everything we need to from the research team perspective, Katie, from your perspective? Okay, so we'll have, and as you're working with them and figuring that out, those hours that need to go into any kind of research or anything will get onto the time tracker so that I can tune in, anybody can tune in, we can see how many of Sabah's hours and Renasia's hours and Alexis's hours and Johnny's hours are going into any kind of, research related work or anything like that. And then, the rest of the hours, and at least for this week, as we're continuing this combined team, we'll keep working on the processing of the videos, and we'll, yeah, that's pretty much it. The remainder of the hours for this week, at least, will go to the processing of the videos, and then we'll reassess on Tuesday. Sound good? Okay, perfect. Anything else, Katie, on the research side? Okay, so I apologize, everyone. I see that we're 1 minute to 7:30, and I still want to have Maria and Mariana share. So I think we are going to go a few minutes over. I apologize. And if anybody has to go, we understand. But Maria, please go ahead and go next, and let me know if there's anything that you're thinking of that the production team needs to be working on in addition to the processing of the videos this week.
Yeah, I think the same as Katie. Maybe what they think that they were going to be learning in the production team that they haven't learned yet. Yeah, besides that, I think that is like the main goal that we have.
Okay, good. So can you do the same then, where everyone on the production team, let's see, who on the production team has practicum requirements? You have Alexis and Renasia and Katie. So that's it, right? So all three of them have practicum requirements. So why don't all three of you, and again, this is where coordinate please with Tatiana. She just had to leave. Isatu is still here. So Isatu, for the business team, can you please work with everybody on the team so that all of the practicum paperwork is, it's kept by the business team, and that the people, each one of you individually, are giving permission to the business team to share it with certain people. Like that's how we want to have our systems in place, is to have like these contracts like we have with the, viewing of the videos and that sort of thing, is we want to have, we're getting there, we don't have it in place yet, a contract between, so let's just say like Katie has provided her practicum paperwork to Uniting for Action under the terms of this contract. And under the terms of the contract, let's say normally, just business team people have access to it, along with, she can give permission to prospective team members to also have access, or other people. And also we can also have like options for like blacking things out and that sort of thing, that's actually something that we do want to do, is the versions of the paperwork that we're providing as a team. We actually want to, black out email addresses and phone numbers and that sort of thing, so that we have, there's not contact information being shared as the paperwork is being shared. So again, ISA2, please, have some notes about this, and Renasia, please put these things in the minutes for sure, is that we really want to get that system down the best that we can from the business team, because then in this situation where it's like Maria is asking for the team members to share their practicum requirements with her, that it's actually part of the onboarding process, essentially, that when the person starts the practicum with us, that they have this agreement with us, and the agreement gives permission to the team leader to have access to it, that sort of thing. So as long as we have that document on file, then the business team will just automatically give it to Maria because the permission's already been granted. You guys get what I'm saying? And I'm going into this level of detail because it's these types of systems and agreements and all of that, which is what we're working to define as a team while we can still together. Any of these other systems that you've put in place to be able to process videos or do research or whatever it looks like, now is our time to document that, to make a tutorial video, to put it into writing, do all of these things so that we're leaving it, for the next semester students and for future semesters to the students. Okay, does everybody get all that? Okay, great. Any questions? Okay, great. So in the short term, excuse me, just so we're not held up by bureaucracy, each one of you can work with your team leaders directly to provide your paperwork while we're still getting our business systems together to make it more automated. Sound good? Okay, good. We're losing people quickly. So Maria's back. Okay, good. So Maria, anything else on the production team side?
Yeah, so maybe, as I mentioned, I used the wrong words. The requirements is one part, but also if they wish that they have learned something that they have not yet, that also, like that as well.
Got it. Okay, great. So if they wanted to do some video editing or something like that. Okay, Renasia, thank you. Sending information. Okay, great. Okay. Yeah, and we're almost wrapped up here because we do want to wrap up as soon as we can. So yes, I think that's a good point, Maria. So again, for those of you on the production team, and some of you will have to be watching this video to hear it, please connect with Maria about the things that you've wanted to make sure you accomplish while you're in the production team, so that she can be aware and we can make sure that we're working all of that in. That's what you're saying, right, Maria? Okay, great. Yes, I think that's really important. Thank you for saying that. So lastly, Mariana, you want to share what what you feel also who needs to be addressed other than the video processing in terms of outreach right now?
Yes, I agree with what Katie and Maria said, that we need to make sure that everybody got what they need or whatever they want to learn. Just make sure that everybody is okay with that. And also, I don't know if that's gonna be good if we're gonna have time for that, but I thought that maybe we can put something on social media just to finalize everything. So I think it would be good, a summary of what we've done this semester and everything, and we can post it, I don't know, on YouTube, Facebook. I think that would be a great idea.
For sure, for sure. Thank you for saying that. I think that for sure we want to not only, thank you for the thumbs ups, about not only have this grand showcase in the first week of December, but also, like you're saying, be able to put it out on all our social media channels and different pieces on social media. I think our social media is going to start to really start to get cranking. I've even been going so far as to been realizing as I'm having my morning walks that I'm probably going to start posting a lot of these videos that I'm giving to you guys to process, probably start posting them on Instagram and on Facebook as I'm doing them, relatively live, and start to, just be putting all that content out in the world that will start to get attention by, my friends and stuff like that, and people that will start, becoming my followers and whatever. So yeah, it's getting internalized to the point that I'm about to be a content producer, so I totally am hearing what you're saying. And it's an interesting thing for me to be thinking about all of that right now. So yes, as a team, we also are going to be content producers over the next several weeks. So thank you for thinking of that and putting that out there. And then the videos too, the 5 top breakthroughs, we still have some like visualizations to create around that, and some finalizing of that, or turning it into something else. We still have different work to do, and I'm going to do a lot of work on the website, like I said, over the weekend. So Tuesday we'll have a lot more to work on, but I think for now we've talked about all the things that we're giving our attention to in addition to the processing, and the processing I think is the biggest thing right now. So I think for the processing of this video, let's say what we really want to focus on to pull out of this video is essentially the context that we want to provide to the career services offices to help us sort through how to describe our job opportunities, or ways that we're presenting job postings to their school and their student body, and let them help guide us as to how we're going to go with these sorts of things, like the questions that we have. So is that enough guidance for you guys to be able to kind of sort through it? I think that there'll be some specific parts of the video that you guys can pull out of there. I think then also, I think there's also just kind of a general, like, let's put it this way. Maybe this is the easiest way to think about it. Like, for somebody that was part of the project last semester that wasn't a part of, these new conversations and considerations, for us to do almost like a summary video of like what's going to be new and different about the project than where we've been about the project, that we can literally send to all of the past people in the project. I want to make sure that everybody is understanding of the transitions that's happening, and why, and how we're evolving, and all those sorts of things, so that everybody can understand like what's going on, where's vaccine considered, all those sorts of things. Okay, Sabah, thank you. We're almost done here, guys. I appreciate that. The last 3 combined team leaders are the last ones standing. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. So yeah, so let's first create a version for the career services offices, and let's secondly create a version for, for lack of a better term, or just to give you a focus of the audience, let's say for past team members, to get them up to speed on all of the changes and all of what's happening and all of that. We'll use that video for others, like for leadership council members and other people that want to have an idea of like my friend today that wanted to see how we're actually going to be a framework and not be holding, some content that we can then send this video and that sort of thing. So does that define it well enough for the 3 of you that you can figure out? And when I say, 2 videos, let's go by, and this is a good, rule of thumb that we figured out today, that we pretty much, I think, can say we don't want to have any videos in our project more than 5 minutes if we can help it at all. And as we've talked about, really like 2 to 3 minutes is really where we would rather be most of the time, and probably better to have 2 or 3 minute videos than 1 5-minute video, if we can figure out a way to separate the information enough, even if it's like a part 1 and a part 2 or something like that. So let's just keep using that, and even better if it's a 1 minute or 2 minute video. But let's keep using that as the standard for all the videos that we're processing. Like, if it needs to get stretched out to 5, okay, we'll deal with it. It was what we had to do. But let's, as much as we can, keep it 2 to 3 minutes at the most, or even less. And then do you think it's trying to think, do you think that it's reasonable to say that, well, you guys tell me, what's a reasonable due date, do you think, for these two videos that I just described from this one video? What are you guys comfortable with as a due date for the team for that, for those two videos?
I guess that maybe for Tuesday, we have the combined meeting.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same.
Same for you, Katie? Okay, that's good. That's what I was going to say too, but I wanted it to come from you guys instead of from me. So that's perfect. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. Okay, great. So Tuesday it is. You guys have the assignment. I think this time, remember last week we had talked about, putting the assignment out in writing. And I know that we came kind of close last week. I think this is a good case where, besides maybe pulling some of the assignment out of the video if you want, or even creating your own video, can we have a written version of what these two videos are going to be like? And even if you cut and paste out the transcript of what I said in terms of the two descriptions, that we'll get it in writing to share with the rest of the team. Does that sound like a good plan? And can we, okay, great. Thank you guys for that. How soon do you think that, let's say that I have, because I'm going to publish this video tonight so that everybody can get to processing it as quickly as possible. Usually it doesn't take more than like an hour, hour and a half. So let's say by 9 or 9:30 at the latest, I'll have it done as soon as Zoom will make it available to me. But let's say by 9 or 9:30 at the latest, the video will be available. They might not have the transcript available right away. Sometimes it takes longer for them to put the transcript up for it to do the processing. How soon do you guys think that you can have the assignment out and out there for the rest of the team to see the assignment, the written assignment?
The earliest for me would be tomorrow afternoon.
Okay, Mariana, Maria, any opportunity for you guys to be able to put it out earlier?
Yeah, I can tomorrow afternoon. Yeah, also because tonight I have to study and just tomorrow afternoon. Yeah.
I understand. Okay, tomorrow morning is not an option for you though? Nope. Okay, how about you, Maria? Is tomorrow morning an option for you?
I think so. My Zoom got frozen. I don't know why. So you were saying that what video, sorry, to get processed?
Yeah, what I was saying was I was asking about for the assignment that you guys are going to create as a written assignment so that the team can receive the written assignment, how soon you could share the written assignment with the team. And both Katie and Mariana said the earliest for each of them is tomorrow afternoon. So I was just checking to see, are you frozen again, Maria? You look a little frozen.
Yeah, I look frozen. I can hear you, but it's like all of you are frozen.
Okay, well, as long as you can
Yeah.
hear me, as long as you can hear me.
I could hear you. I could hear you. So
Okay.
I think
So,
that
but I didn't finish. What I wanted to say was,
oh, sorry.
okay, the soonest they can do it is tomorrow afternoon. So I wanted to see if you could do it any earlier so the team could receive the assignment earlier in the day tomorrow so they could start working on it earlier in the day tomorrow. So is that an option for you?
I think so because we already have it written. So maybe I have to polish it up and that will be all.
Well, not for the two videos that I just described. One video is we're going to create for the Career Services Office. The other video we're going to create for the past members. So the way I described it needs to be described maybe, I mean, that's the quick version. Maybe that's all you need to say. I'll let you guys decide. Why don't you work on it early, Maria? You'll have at least the video. And actually by tomorrow morning, you'll have the transcript of this video too. So maybe you can work on it. If you work on it and just put it into the chat, Katie and Mariana, will you guys be able to see it in the chat at least? And just let Maria know if you guys think it's ready to get sent out to the team or whether it needs any more work. Is that something you guys can do at least? Even if you can't put in the work, can you look and check the work and see if it needs more work? Yeah, you both can do that.
Yes, just to let you both know that I'm only gonna have like an interview tomorrow at 9:30, but then I don't know how long it's gonna take, but if it's fast, I'm gonna be available. So
Okay.
yeah, depends of
Perfect.
how long it takes.
Okay, perfect. Well, we'll hope that your interview is long and fruitful. But we'll go ahead and we'll go with that plan. So Maria will start working on the assignment. She'll get it to where she thinks, she's gotten it. She'll send it to you guys in the chat. Do you guys think, I was thinking about this, I guess we should, I was kind of just using the executive team chat to reach the three of you because it seemed the most convenient. Should we set up a separate chat for just the four of us to have conversations about these sorts of things and share, like when Maria's going to share things with you guys, that she does it in this chat rather than the executive team chat? Yeah. Okay. So I'll do that right now. I'll go ahead and set up a new chat for us, the combined team leader chat. So, okay, perfect. So I think we've got it. So Maria will do the assignment. She'll share it into that new chat. You guys will reply to her as soon as you can. Basically, you want to reply whether you feel like it's ready to be posted, or whether you want to, you think that needs some work, or you want to work on it on the afternoon. And whenever you guys are available is when you guys can put in the work if it needs more work before it's ready to go out. Okay, sound good? Clearly defined for everybody? Okay, great. Okay, perfect. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys. Really awesome, doing a great job. Like we've talked about, whole new level we went to this past week. So I'm super excited to see, where we can take it now with another week of going deeper into our practice with each other. So great job, guys. And great job, all of you, for jumping into leadership and doing such a great job so quickly as being new leaders and working together as leaders. It's been a really awesome thing to see. So you should all be very proud of yourselves. You're doing a great job. Awesome. Yay. All right, go team. Have a great night. I will see you later. Thank you guys. Bye-bye. You guys are superstars.